Most vocalists who are trying to use mixed voice as a way to expand their range upward have got it all wrong, or at least very incomplete. Let me explain. Listen to how Chris Cornell here on his Prince cover kisses up into a chesty mix.
Can't stop these lonely tears from falling. Tell me, where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong?
Now, there's nothing wrong with this approach. It sounds awesome, and clearly he's made it work. We're going to call this approach the chest up mixed voice approach. Listen to this section of Chris Cornell from several years earlier. Hear how light? She's got no tears. And then he heavies it up. He didn't do that in Nothing Compares to You.
Where did I go?
Where did I go wrong? She's got no tears. Where did I go wrong? They both sound great, but they're actually very different approaches and very different mindsets. And if you only have one of them, you can't really use your mixed voice in an effective, long-lasting way. Now, neither of these approaches are going to be accessible to you if you don't understand how to support and place your voice. If you haven't experimented with dynamic placement and you're unsure of what it really means to support your voice properly, click the link below in the pinned comment or video description and join my free course. I'll show you how to do this stuff, and then what we're covering in this video is going to make a lot more sense. You see, a lot of people when they analyze Cornell tend to think about, oh, well, he was younger, and that's why he could go higher, and that's why his voice sounded, lighter and less weighty. Just, age and maybe some vocal damage led to him treating his voice and using his voice differently in his later years. And this is partially accurate, but his approach changed partially because of the way that he was writing and partially because of the way he decided he wanted to perform and sound. The Temple of the Dog approach we are going to call the head voice down approach. Listen as he iterates on this approach right here.
And I'll put you to bed. Since you can't say to me now,
There's a lightness to it! Yeah! That he's slightly covering. If I were to sing this with the chest voice up approach, it would sound like this. Since you can't say to me now how the dog broke your bone. I love both approaches, and as a matter of fact, I use both of them all the time when I'm singing. But I'm strategic about when and how I apply each method so that I have a full range. Most people only go for the chest voice up. Now, in chest voice up, I am exploiting as much of my chest voice as possible and then trying to find that mixed posture that I've talked about a bunch on the channel. But I'm exhausting my chest voice. With head voice down, I'm actually thinking about getting into my head voice posture or a light mix as early in my range as possible, even if I can hit that note in chest voice. So, in the first two examples I shared with you, we were right around G and A4. I can hit G and A4 in my chest voice just fine. However, I'm going to intentionally think about moving into my head voice as low as possible. There's a low head voice note. Then I'm going to practice going down to that note. Pick some arbitrary place up in my head voice. Then I'm going to make it nasal, and I'm going to practice compressing that note. And what you can hear is that it's starting to get weightier. It's really ugly. Yes, it's ugly. And I can still crack down to my chest voice. But there's this sense, oh man. Now, I can hit that note in chest. Oh! And it might sound better, but listen to my head voice down. Brash sound right here. Now that I've got it weighty and ugly, I can shape this to deceive myself and other people into it being a lighter chest posture. Listen. Oh, yeah. It's just slightly lighter. I found it by getting that bright brash placement, and then I played with it and balance my chest with that sound. Whoa, yeah. Once I've gone head voice down, adjusted my placement, then I can think chest voice up. And I have an unlimited range. Not really unlimited, but it's so much more free. If I go at this the other way without head voice first, la 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 la, I end up trying to pull chest too much. And I top out, or I crack, or I get tired. So see how low you can get your head voice. Then start playing with the placement. Then start compressing into it, and only then start thinking chest voice up. And you're going to find some really interesting things happen with your mixed voice. And again, if you've got more questions and you're unsure about how all this should really feel, I'm here. Click the link below in the pinned comment or video description and join my free course. I'll show you how to support, place, and compress properly so that you can do these kinds of experiments and unlock these kinds of things in your voice. For more on compression, check out this video.